Awesome. Good afternoon and welcome to Manchester Film Festival. We're here to talk about Gobstopper. Would you like to tell us a little bit about the film and about your roles within the film?
So I'm writer-director, Jo Lane, and it's a film. The sort of premise of the film is that it's about how a mother's love is complicated and doesn't always present itself in conventional ways. It's like a bit of a love story between a mother and her two daughters as she struggles with her alcoholism. I'll pass it around.
So my name's Eve, I play Ash, and for me the film's been about, sort of as an actor, like the whole journey as getting into character, and the film itself is like a journey as well. For me, that's the way that I've always thought about it, and that's the way that helps me to sort of like understand it, because obviously it's got a structure, but it's not sort of really, really obvious. I don't know how to explain it, but
it's like a moment
and getting you said, just that unconventional relationship and how it's explored through the film, and then I sort of try and represent that with my character.
Hi, I'm Kelly. I play Trish, the mother of the piece, and I think it was really important, as Jo said, a mother's love isn't conventional all of the time, and it was really nice for Jo to trust me with that woman, and that kind of the flaws that she has, but ultimately she does love both girls greatly.
I'm Ocean. I play Jaden, Ash's love interest, I think. So I don't know, I think I just put my all into it, and kind of she's not got the best growing up, so as my character I try to give her that freedom that she can't really have when she's at home, because she's got so much to sort of deal with on her plate, so I kind of try and just give her an escape in a way.
Awesome, thank you very much. I think one of the things I found really interesting about the film was how it captures a side of Manchester that may no longer exist, or if it does exist, it only exists for a very small community or in the memories of a very small community. I imagine that mirrors your experiences growing up. Like, it looks like Hume, although I'm not sure if it is Hume.
Oh, so what do you mean, as in it's a side of Manchester that doesn't really exist anymore?
So,
what do you
so you see the kind of like the townhouses, I guess, that were built in the 70s, 80s, 90s, and this family live and thrive in that environment, but you've got the background of that. You've got like Deansgate Square, for example, and I think it's really interesting how these people are still living in that, and that's their Manchester, but you can see almost like the other side of it that isn't talked about, isn't expressed in kind of most mainstream Manchester culture.
Okay, yeah, so the location that I think you're possibly thinking about as well is at the very end scene, which, we actually had a local resident sort of come out really shocked while we were filming there, and he was like, why do you want the capitalism in the background? And we're like, and I said it was cinematic and beautiful, and he goes, it's capitalism, and it's like, yeah, that's kind of what we're showing, the stark contrast between capitalism is some of the causes of the problems within the family, and you know, that just that sort of juxtaposition of the two, I think, was quite a cinematic choice, basically. They still, obviously, all those places still exist because they're there. But yeah, I think the placing of things together and the way we've pieced them together, I see what you mean. Yeah, absolutely. Did anyone else want to answer anything on that question?
I'm working class Salford, I'm Kersal, and those places still do exist, and we still do need to shout about those places, and those places should be in mainstream media. Working class humour is phenomenal, and we should be exploiting that, and we should be using that, and we should be celebrating that. They absolutely do exist, and those people that live in those communities are wonderful human beings that just need a bloody chance.
Do either of you want to say anything on that one?
No, I just second everything you guys have said.
No? Okay.
I appreciate that. And I think one of the other things that I really enjoyed about the film was all the obvious lived experiences are in there, like the two sisters sat doing the washing and the lecky goes. And you don't need to explain that in dialogue, it just happens and they know, and you know if you don't. Did you search for those memories to put in there to express that? Or did it just kind of come natural? It's like, well, of course this happens.
It was interesting because so the theme of the sponsorship form was one that was part of my life, but also part of sort of different narratives in my life that has played a part. And it was really that it was using that as the frame of how do we get to the point where the young girls need to do that if mum isn't around. And obviously, and interesting that you say if you get it, you get it, if you don't, you don't. Obviously a new generation of people won't understand your lecky going off. Obviously nowadays it's a key a lot of the time as well, and it was quite difficult to search for it. We did film an actual electric box going off, but we realised exactly what you said is we don't need it. we can do that with the rest of the sort of the cinematicness. But yeah, it was interesting sort of finding those beats to the narrative of what makes them need to go out and look for that.
Yeah, drawing together the narrative beats and the juxtaposition of the old city and the new city. One of the other things I thought was really interesting was the family dynamic was tense and tender at the same time, and also at different times, and I really enjoyed how you showed both of those. Was it a decision to show both, or again was it something that just felt natural?
No, definitely to show both. I also come from doing a lot of youth and community work and working with people in prison and probation, and I've always found that people are sort of judged for not fitting to what society's norms of what it is to be a good parent, or middle class or whatever. And obviously there's so much love and care from Trish to her daughters. It just so happens that she's not fulfilling one side of what society sees as sort of acceptable. And I think that was really important to show that that people are flawed, but also there is love and beauty and compassion within those relationships. Did anybody else want to say anything on that one? No.
Awesome. And I apologise for the way this is worded in my notes because I didn't know you were coming, Kerry. But what was it like working with Hollyoaks legend Kerry Condon?
Legend.
Hollyoaks legend. What was it like? So yeah, obviously for me, I don't watch Hollyoaks. So interestingly, in some respects, one of the things I actually worked with a Hollyoaks actor on my last short film, and actually what I believe is that sometimes it's about believing that people who do different roles have got the skill to do other roles, and that's what it was. Nothing to do with Hollyoaks. It was why we got Kelly involved. Sorry to say that, but it wasn't. But as soon as we brought her on, and knowing that as a fantastic actor she can take direction and she has the capacity to be anything and everything, so that was that for me. What about you guys? Did you feel anything particular about working with a Hollyoaks star?
I was buzzing when I found out, to be honest. I was like, get in there. Like, look at me now. But yeah, I thought Kelly was amazing. I remember doing the audition with Kelly as well. I was like, who's she? She's really good. I didn't know who you were. And then my friend come into college, into uni, and said, oh, the woman from Hollyoaks is in the short film that you're doing. And I was like, no, she's not. Hollyoaks. But yeah, I thought she was amazing. Really eye-opening that you can actually do different things and be like sort of versatile.
Very different people,
within the
aren't they?
industry. It's something I want to do as well, just be able to play different characters. So I thought that was really cool.
Awesome. Thank you very much. I think we're running out of time a little bit, otherwise we will miss the actual film. So we'll chat a little bit more after the film in the screen, maybe some questions from the audience as well. Thank you guys.
Thank you.